I'm very glad that you are watching in my YouTube channel, and especially if you are a Class 8 candidate, you'll benefit a lot from today's tutorials. I'm your host, Teacher Jonathan Musau. Welcome. And today I want us specifically to look at the KCPE 2013 from question number 31. Sample KCPE 2013, number 31. Beginning with number 31, we are given a question on scale drawing, where we are told the figure below shows a scale drawing for a route of map for a bicycle race. The scale used is 1:200,000. There's the start, there's the checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, checkpoint 3, and the finish line. Atieno was in the bicycle race. Her bicycle broke down at checkpoint 2 and had to retire from the race. How many kilometers was she away from the finish point when she retired? So she started at the start, moved to checkpoint 1, then moved to checkpoint 2. So from checkpoint 2, we are going to measure with a ruler from this part here, where the cursor of the mouse is. From checkpoint 2, we measure up to checkpoint 3. And after you measure with your ruler, you are going to get it's 4 centimeters. From checkpoint 3 to the finish line, you measure where you find it's 8 centimeters. So in total, he had to cover 12 centimeters. She was 12 centimeters away from the checkpoint. And that is, we know that is the drawing length. So we want to know the actual length now, the kilometers she had to cover. So we come back to the scale. The scale says 1:200,000. Translating 1:200,000 means 1 centimeter represents 200,000 centimeters. So we have to convert the 200 centimeters to be in kilometers because we want our answer into kilometers. So the 1 centimeter is the drawing length, and then the 200 centimeters are the actual length. So 200 centimeters would be divided by 100,000 because we know 1 kilometer is 100,000 centimeters. So when we convert it, we get 1 centimeter represent an actual of 2 kilometers. So after measuring checkpoint 2 to checkpoint 3 and finish line, we got 12 centimeters. So if 1 centimeter represents 2 kilometers, what about 12 centimeters? We cross multiply and get the 12 centimeters were represented by 24 kilometers. So the key things you're supposed to remember in this question is that when the scale is given in ratio form, it's good to translate it in linear scale. And the both units are the same. 1 centimeter represents 200 centimeters, 200,000 centimeters. Convert the 200,000 centimeters to be kilometers, which becomes 2 kilometers. So for every centimeter drawn on the map, it represents 2 kilometers. So after measuring from checkpoint 2 to the finish line, we get 12 centimeters. So if 1 centimeter represents 2 kilometers, then 12 centimeters will represent 24 kilometers. Moving on to number 32, we are given a question where most of the candidates failed that question during that year. And I will tell you the reason. Sagari left home at 23:30 on Monday for a journey which took 2¼ days to complete. On what day and time in AM/PM system did he complete the journey? So the key word here is his journey took 2¼ days, but candidates read this in hurry and they took it like 2¼ hours. These are days, not hours. So I will start with Monday. From Monday, 23:30 hours to the following day, Tuesday, 23:30 hours. That is a complete day. So we have already covered one day. Then from Tuesday, 23:30 to Wednesday, 23:30 hours. That's another complete day. Those are 2 days. So we are now left with a quarter day. And we know a quarter of a day is supposed to be a quarter times 24, which is 6 hours. So on Wednesday, 23:30, we add 6 hours. When we add 23:30 plus 6, it gives us 29:30 hours. 29:30 hours of Wednesday tells us we have gone past Wednesday because Wednesday was supposed to end at 24:00. So now we get the 29 that we have got, we subtract 24:00, and that takes us to Thursday 05:30 hours, which is the same as very early morning of 5:30 a.m. So the trick here was to know that these were days. So we start with 23:30 hours, Monday, and the following day, Tuesday 23:30, we say that's a full day. Then Tuesday, from Tuesday 23:30 to Wednesday 23:30, that's another day. That makes 2 days. Then the quarter day, we translate and know a quarter is the same as 6 hours. When we add Wednesday 23:30 plus 6, we get 29:30. And this 29:30 shows that we have gone past Wednesday because Wednesday ended at 24:00. We subtract 24, we get 05:30 hours. So our journey ended, the journey of Sangale ended at 5:30 a.m. of Thursday. Moving on to number 33, given a question on a table where we are told that the table shows prices of food for a certain hotel. The following price for the prices were as follows: ugali and nyama is 150, mchele and nyama 180, chips and nyama 200, and like so. A team of 11 people took lunch in the hotel as follows. 4 took mchele and nyama. So you stand where mchele is, where my cursor is. Then we also check where nyama is. Then for mchele we move down, for nyama we move across, and they meet at 180. So those people paid each 180. So 180 times 4. Then we have 180 times 4, which gives us 720. We have 3 who took chips and kuku. We stand where chips is and where kuku is. Move down for chips, kuku move across, they meet at 250. So we get the 3 who took chips and kuku each paid 250, which is 750. 2 took ugali and samaki, stand where ugali is and where samaki is, move down and across, and they meet at 160. So the 2 of them paid 160 times 2, which is 320. So we are told the remaining, and when the word remaining, we have to take the 4, the 3, and the 2, put them together, we get 9. Then we subtract from the total number of people who were 11. 11 minus 9, we get 2. So the remaining are 2. They took ugali and kuku. And ugali and kuku, you stand where ugali is, where kuku is, and you move down and across, we get 240. So the 2 paid 480. So when you add the 720, 750, 320, and this 480, you get 2,270. Then the question is, how much more money would the team have paid if they all had taken chips and kuku? So if all of them had taken chips and kuku, they would have paid, chips is here, kuku is there, move across, they meet at 250. The 11 of them would have paid 2,750 when you multiply 250 times 11. So you subtract to get the difference. The difference gives us what they, how much more they would have paid, and they would have paid, that is 480. Then we move on to number 34. Construction. It was a simple construction. I think candidates enjoyed doing this question. Construct a triangle NPQ such that NPQ is 30 degrees. So you get a protractor, standard point P, measure 30 degrees, and then you draw a long line where the 30 degrees is, and then PN, you cut from P to line N, 10 centimeters, then you bisect angle PQN as shown in the diagram here. After you bisect, you let the bisector meet at R. Then you measure angle, you're told to measure angle, NRQ. And those, if you measure accurately, you get NRQ is 85 degrees. Moving on to number 35, we have a question on hire purchase, where we are told the cash price of a cupboard is 3,000 and an interest of 25% is charged if the cupboard is bought on hire purchase terms. About the cupboard on hire purchase terms, she paid a deposit and 12 equal monthly installments. Each installment was 262.50 cents. How much deposit did she pay? It's a simple one. Just say the cash price was 100%. which is represented by 3,000. That one we are given. And because the hire purchase had an extra interest of 25%, it was 125%. So if 100% represents 3,000, what about 125%? Take note that cash price is always higher than the hire purchase is always higher than the cash price, and the hire purchase is always more than 100%. So saying that cash price was 100%, which is 300,000, and the hire purchase was 125%, you cross multiply to get the hire purchase was 3,750. We know hire purchase is made up of deposit plus total monthly installments. We are given the installments, but you're not given the deposit. So we substitute the formula. Where we have hire purchase, we put the hire purchase price, which is 3,750, equals to a deposit we don't know, plus 262 shillings and 50 cents times 12, because these are the installments. Each installment was paying 262, then we multiply by the number of months. And when you do that, we get that 750 is equals to deposit plus that 150. After multiplying, we get that 150. So to get the deposit, we just subtract the hire purchase minus the total monthly installments. So in a quick one, you just get the cash price was 100%, which was 3,000. The hire purchase was 125. You cross multiply to get the hire purchase was 3,750. Then we subtract the hire purchase. We multiply the installments. Each installment was paying 262 and 50 cents times 12 to get the total monthly installments. Once we get the total monthly installments, we subtract the hire purchase price to remain with the deposit. Moving on to number 36. We have a question on arrival time. What is the difference between the time taken by flight number 212 to fly between Kisumu and Nairobi, and the flight number 210 to fly between Mombasa and Nairobi? Keyword: arrival time equals to departure time, equals to arrival time minus departure time. Never say the opposite. It is never departure time minus arrival. It's arrival minus departure. So candidates take in on that time taken is arrival time minus departure time. Then we have flight number 212 arrived at Nairobi at 19:30 hours. It had departed at 18:45. When you subtract that, you get 45 minutes. Flight 210 had arrived at 1500 hours and it had left at 14:30. When we subtract, we get 30 minutes. So the difference is 15 minutes. Number 37, substitution, where we are told 2a plus b over c. To work out that, we are given the value of c is 4, the value of b is 2c plus 1, and a equals to b plus 2. The first thing a candidate should do is to know the values of each of these letters first. We know c is 4, direct, but b is, we are told, is 2c plus 1. So we get 2 times the value of c, which is 4, plus 1. We first multiply 2 times 4, which is 8 plus 1. So we have known b is 9. A is 9, which is the value of b, plus 2. B plus 2, which is 9 plus 2, which is 11. So after that, we now solve the equation where we are told 2a, which means 2 times 11, because the value of b is 9. The value of a is 11. So 2 times 11, then we later add 9, then we say over 4, because c is 4. So we get 22 plus 9, which is 31 over 4. 31 over 4, when changed to mixed number, by long division, we get 7 3/4. 38, volume of cylinders. Volume of anything equals to base area times height. So the base area or cross-sectional area times length. So the volume of this cylindrical water tank, which had a diameter of 1.4 and a height of 4 meters, will be the base area times height. The base area of the cylinder is a circle, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So it is pi r squared times height, 22 over 7 times 0.7 times 0.7 times 4. The 0.7, I've changed the diameter, I've divided the diameter by 2 to get the radius. 1.4 was the diameter. So it is 22 over 7, which is pi, times 0.7 times 0.7, that is pi r squared, pi times radius, then times 4. We get 6.16 cubic meters. Then the question is, how many liters? We now change volume to capacity, because the answer we have got was just the volume, not capacity. And we know 1 cubic meter is equals to 1,000 liters. What about 6.16 cubic meters? We cross multiply and we get 6,160 liters. Number 39. It's about median. The mean of the following marks of pupils in a certain class is 72. This is an average. And we count the pupils. We find there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10. So to know the total of the 10, we multiply 10 by the mean, by 72. So the total for all of them was 720. When you look keenly, there's one who's not given X, written by the letter X. So to get that X, we now add the 9 given. The ones who are given here, 66, 86, 63, 80, 79, 69, 85, 63, 88. We add all of them and we get 679. So the first, the 10 times 72 gave us the total for 10. The ones we have added is a total for 9. So the difference gives us the hidden X, the one which was hidden. So 720 minus 679 is 41. So the one represented by X is 41. I repeat again, you first, if this 72 was a mean, so multiply by 10 to know the total for the 10. Then you add the 9 which are given here, and after you add them, this total represents the 9 of them. Then you subtract the total for the 10, which is 720 minus the total for the 9, which is 679, which gives you 41. So now we know all the numbers. To get median, we arrange the numbers from the smallest to the largest and find the middle number. So we start arranging with 41, 63, 63, 66, 69, 79, 80, 85, 86, 88. We confirm by counting them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then from here, we know that if the numbers are even, we shall not have a middle number. So the two middle numbers, that is 69 and 79, we take the two which are in between and then we add them and divide by 2. So 69 plus 79, we get 148, then we divide by 2, we get 74. To get the middle number, it's easy. Start with this, the first number, which is 41, and on the other side, we have the last number, which is 88. You cancel 41, then you cancel 88 on the other side. You move to the second number, cancel 63, cancel 86 on the other side. Cancel 63, cancel 85 on the other side. Cancel 66, cancel 80 on the other side. You are left with 69 and 79. Put them together, add them together, divide by 2, you get 74. The last question is about money. A trader who deposited 20,000 in a bank. The money was in the following denominations: 1,000, 5 notes, 500, 15 notes, 200, 24 notes. The remaining amount was in 100 shillings and 50 shilling notes. The 100 shillings and the 50 shilling notes were equal in number. They are the same number. How much money did the trader deposit in 50 shilling notes? Let's know the values first, which you are given here. 1,005 notes means 1,000 times 5, which is 5,000 shillings. 500 shillings times 15 notes, that is 7,500 shillings. 200 shilling notes, and there are 24 of them, that means 4,800. When we put all that together, we get 17,300. Then the remaining amount, to get the remaining amount, we add, we get the total money that he was sharing. The total money that he had deposited was 20,000, and then he has already changed 17,300. After adding 5,000, 7,500, 4,800, put together we get 17,300. So the remaining amount is 2,700 when you subtract from the total money that he had. So now this 2,700, we want to change it into 150 shilling notes. And remember, we are told the number of notes for 100 and the number of notes for 50 are the same. So let's call the number of notes to be X. So we form an equation which says 100X plus 50X equals to 2,700, meaning the number of notes for 100 and 50 are the same. That's why we are using X. So 100x plus 50x equals to 2,700. We continue further with the equation. 150x equals to 2,700. Divide both sides by 150. We get x equals to 18. Then we want to know how many, the value of the 50 shilling notes. So there were 18 notes of 50 shillings. So what is the value of that? We get the number of notes, which were 18, we multiply by the value of each note, which is 50, which gives us 900 shillings. Thank you very much. And don't forget to like and subscribe for me to help more, to give you more services. Good night.